Welcome, family. A pastor who came out to he pointed out some of the error in Dr. Damina's teaching. So, in this video, it's about few minutes, I don't know. So, he pointed out some of the errors in Dr. Abel Damina's teachings. So, though he said Dr. Damina is one of the best teacher we have in Nigeria of the Bible, best teacher of the Bible that we have in Nigeria, but he still pointed out some of the error in his teachings. So take your time, watch this video. If you watch it, if you don't get it, I don't know what to say. So if you have not, please, before you watch, if you have not subscribed, please kindly subscribe. What we do here is what we bring light to you. We bring to you Jesus for you to know that we're talking only about Jesus. So let's watch this video and then watch this video where he pointed out some of the error in his teachings. Watch, I'll be right back.
So in this video, I'll point out some of Abel Damina's teachings which are contrary to scripture. Again, I guess I have to, in every presentation of concerning Abel Damina, I have to make it clear first that I appreciate a lot of, there's quite a bit of things that he has been saying, which I really appreciate. And that's why I consider him one of the best Bible teachers in Nigeria. That I know of, I think one can say that he's one of the best Bible teachers in Nigeria. But I would, at the same time, I would want people to know where he is wrong, so that they can have a better relationship with God and a better understanding of scripture. Because the teaching would affect someone's level of life with God. Okay, so that's the reason why we need to be as near to scriptural teaching as much as possible, so that will enhance our life with God, our relationship with God. One of the things I think I noticed about Abel Damina is that, so he focuses on, okay, one of the good things which he has been doing is that he talks a lot about how that God doesn't need anything from anyone. And that's very true. There's even a scripture that there are scriptures in regards to that. Acts chapter 17. That God needs nothing from us. So I think that's Acts 17. Okay, Acts 17:25. So if you go to Acts 17:25, for example, now he says this. He says that he is not worshipped or served with human works as though he needed anything, since he himself gives to all life, breath, and all things. Okay, so this is very important. Fact that that God is the one that gives to all life, breath, and all things is important. So it then but if we have a teaching or belief that somehow we give to God and then God will do something for us if we do something, so he's been tackling a lot of that, and I applaud him for that, and I'm really thankful. In fact, I'm very happy that there is someone out there, and he's tackling a lot in a place like Nigeria. Oh my God, he's tackling a lot. That's why I appreciate Abel Damina, and I consider him one of the best Bible teachers. I don't see any other Bible teacher in Nigeria doing that, tackling all the false teachings. I don't see anybody doing that, but he is doing that. So definitely, I commend him for that, and and I can't emphasize that enough. I really thank him for that, and I'm happy that he has allowed the Spirit of God to work in his life to bring him to that level. That's a very wonderful development for a place like Nigeria. That's very wonderful. And then on the other hand, the problem I see with him is that it seems as if in some ways he has pushed it to an extreme. For instance, he also talks about the fact that um, um, no material thing is needed. Nothing material is needed to have uh, God intervene to help in difficult situations. Um, so because people in a place like Nigeria, there's a lot of thinking that if you want God to intervene and do something for you to help you to like a miracle, then you have to do something like or maybe it has to be attached to some physical something, like get some holy water, holy candle, other stuff, right? Some physical something, right? And Abel Damina has big time tackled that, and I really appreciate him for that, because the attaching of faith to physical things like that, it's at best one would say, okay, it is wrong, but at worst it definitely would be considered occultism. um so I really appreciate Abel Damina for tackling those that in Nigeria, in a place like Nigeria. And it's so much in Nigeria, very prevalent in Nigeria. People think like that, and I would call that superstition. Well, I guess we can call that superstition. Although I'll be careful in my use of the word superstition, because I'll be careful with that. Maybe later I'll tackle why I say that. See, because when you say superstition, in a way, as a Christian, every Christian is superstitious in a way. Because it's not like, in 1 Corinthians 13, Paul said it, that we know in part and we prophesy in part. Okay, so we don't know all things. Okay, so our understanding of God and the things of the Spirit, angels, and things like this. So there's much of that which has to do, in a way, even I'm talking about the in a rare case here now, where you have really true Christians, which is rare today. But even in such a case, I'm saying that in a way, one would still say that, yeah, Christians are in a way superstitious, in the sense that we don't know all things. So, and we are dealing with things here. We are dealing with things that are how do I say it? Things of the Spirit that are, in a way, we as Paul said, we know in part and we prophesy in part. So it's not possible for us to completely have total full knowledge of God. It's not possible. It is not possible. God is infinite. Okay, so, and the things of the Spirit, like we talk about angels and things like that, these things are in the spirit realm. So even scientists that will claim that they are not superstitious, even scientists, they still have to reform their knowledge, upgrade their knowledge time and time again. Even scientists have to do this in science. Even science even they won't claim to know all things, as they have to upgrade their knowledge time and time again. So, and basically superstition has to do with not having good knowledge. Okay, knowledge being science. Knowledge is science. Okay, in a way, superstition is when people are having to deal with things and understand things with limited knowledge or lack of knowledge, then you say they are superstitious. Okay. But again, even science itself has to continually refine, upgrade, and reform knowledge, which is science. Okay. So in a way, one can say that even science in some ways can be superstitious. Okay. I mean, you can compare today's science with science way back in the 1500s or so. I mean, it definitely will be different. So in a way, so I would not want to use the way I use the word superstitious. I want to be careful with that, because in a way, yes, we can say that as a Christian, yeah, I'm superstitious. We can say that a Christian is superstitious in a way. So so okay, let me leave that at that. So, but I think one of the things I noticed with Abel Damina is that he's doing a lot of good work. He's saying a lot of good things, tackling a lot of our false teachings. But then, I think sometimes he maybe pushes it in an extreme, contrary to scriptural knowledge. An example which I gave in the last video is the fact that it's very clear in scripture. Symbolic baptism is commanded. There's no way anyone can. How do you argue around that? Jesus commanded it. The apostles practiced it. The early church practiced it. In the New Testament, book of Acts, baptism, immersion into physical water was practiced by the early church. So how can anyone argue against that? Even though I understand where Abel Damina is coming from, that all these things have been perverted, which is true. So, but if those things have been perverted, what you have to do is you have to tackle it with teaching, proper teaching. That's what you do. You don't you don't now totally neglect or reject a valid teaching and practice such as symbolic baptism, symbolic communion, which involve physical things, ceremonies. You know, I mean, for instance, how about grace? I mentioned this in the last video I made. Grace has been perverted. The love of God has been perverted by a lot of Christians. So, because of that, are you now going to completely say, oh, we are going to throw it away completely? You cannot do that. That is the same thing Abel Damina is doing when it comes to symbolic baptism and symbolic communion, which have been perverted. But again, you tackle it by proper teaching. That's what you do. So you teach what the proper understanding of it, that look, these things are only symbolic. In of themselves, there is no power. We don't receive any spiritual life in the thing, but in the act itself. You know, the Catholics, they believe that in the act of baptism itself, that spiritual life is conferred. All of that is rubbish. Scripture does not teach that. So in that sense, in that regards, yes, I would agree with Abel Damina. But Abel Damina he has gone to the extreme of that, completely throwing away symbolic baptism and symbolic communion as though it was not established in the New Testament church, when it was clearly established in the book of Acts, and also by the teaching of Christ. So that's why I say that those are the satanic teachings of Abel Damina. So that's why I titled the this presentation, and I'll continue with in the next, making more videos like this. Just again, my goal is to try to help people to have a better understanding of these things. I commend Abel Damina for what he's doing, but I feel that I should step in as a supplementary, okay, to the teachings he's been doing. I mean, I'm happy for what he's doing. He's been doing a good work. You know, what he's doing is not easy. You know, the fact that he has been tackling so much false teachings of Africans and Nigerians, that's very good. He's doing a good job. But I definitely feel the need of stepping in to supplement some of the places where he has gone wrong, supplement those things and let people understand that, okay, this is where Abel Damina has gone wrong. But on those other things, he's doing fine. He's teaching it right. But here you have to watch out for this, and I'll be showing scripture for it, of course. So let me quickly read this from my website. I added this to the meditations page of my website recently because I received the challenge that, okay, why did Jesus use mud? You know, Jesus used physical things. You know, he touched people. You know, I mean, he doesn't have to touch them. He could just speak the word, you know, which is actually the better faith. You know, the better faith. You see this in Luke chapter 7, verse 9, that Jesus commended those who had strong faith like that, like in Luke 7 verse 9, where is it centurion, the man understood, that man understood that, hey, look, Jesus doesn't even have to come to my house. Nothing physical has to take place. Just speak the word from where you are, and I know everything will be well. That is, Jesus commended that, as he said, he has not found faith like this anywhere in Israel. So that's the type of faith we want, and that's the type of faith you want to grow into. Okay. But then the question now is, okay, so if Jesus could just speak the word, why did he touch people? Why did he even lepers that were not supposed to be touched, he touched them? So why did he do that? Why did he use mud? Why did he use spit? His spittle. Why did he use spit? Why did he use his saliva rather? Why did he use his saliva? Why did he use mud to heal people and touch people? That's the question. And I received that challenge recently, and I had to do a bit of scriptural search on the matter. So this is the conclusion I came to, that the reason why Jesus and his apostles sometimes used physical things or physical interaction in the healing of people is because of...
That's it. What do you think? Do you get anything, or is it that you didn't watch the full videos before started pointing out errors? What do you think? Is it right? Is Dr. Daminas wrong? What do you think in general? So whatever you think, let's interact. Drop it in the comment section. Let's talk. Let's go. Let's interact. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, share, and comment. God bless.